Hello and welcome to Reinvent and Rise. Here in the month of November, we have started things off with a bang, with the holidays approaching and just a constant focus on fitness. I'm very excited to have someone here with me today who's going to talk to us women about being fit during the holidays and just being fit overall. How's that? There's something that we need to do. We need to watch how we eat and we need to watch our exercise, all things that help us to make better. So, to make ourselves better, not just better, but to make ourselves better. So, with me today, I have Felicia R. Phillips. She's an international speaker, author, healthy lifestyle coach, preacher, certified nutritional coach, and she is the founder and CEO of Through His Eyes, a faith based speaking, coaching, and consulting firm that is committed to empowering women to uncover their purpose and impact the world as they walk in their destiny and manifest their dreams. As an ICSA certified nutritional coach and minister, Felicia specializes in helping women lead healthier lifestyles. Her mission, she says, is to help as many women as she possibly can to lead healthier, happier, and more active lifestyles, mind, body, and spirit. Please help me in welcoming Felicia R. Phillips. Forgive me for stumbling over your name there. Welcome to Reinvent and Rise.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Yes, I'm happy to have. And in full disclosure, you are my second Felicia. I have a Felicia and a Felicia. So I had to think before I said your name the second time around.
Right, understood.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I greatly appreciate it. My audience, we are women. I like to call my group risers, women 45 and up. And of course, yeah, here I am. At any age, we really need to focus on health and fitness. But as you get a little older, things start to change just a bit. So I want to talk about that today. So I had a few questions and I said, I know that Felicia is going to be able to lead us through some of this or through all of it. I wholeheartedly believe that. So tell us a little about what you do.
Absolutely. So I call myself a healthy lifestyle coach, and I am the owner and CEO of the F2f Academy, which started off as an online school and membership program that was geared toward helping Christian women who were at risk for chronic disease to lead a healthier lifestyle, both mind, body, and spirit. My primary focus is nutrition and exercise, but I do believe in the holistic approach to health and wellness. And so as a minister, I can't negate the spiritual piece of it. And then just as a woman, 45 and up, and knowing all the things that we deal with, I could not ignore the mental perspective, right? And so I work with clients to help them to lead healthier lifestyles. Now, when I started the F2f Academy, which is just barely over a year old, I started it in the middle of the pandemic, July of 2020. My focus was primarily women. And I focused on creating opportunities for group coaching and group exercise classes to help women to lead a healthier lifestyle. Since that time, I've been approached by men who felt left out and needed my service and wanted my services. And so I did create a secondary program within the F2f Academy, which is the F2f Nutrition Program. And so while I don't offer group exercise and group coaching for men and women, the F2f Academy is primarily women. I do service men and women through the F2f Nutrition Program, which is my signature program that offers customized nutritional coaching, customized workouts, accountability, and daily coaching for anybody who is looking to lose weight and keep it off for good in a healthy and sustainable way. And so that in a nutshell, that's what I do year round.
Wow, that's awesome. fitness and, eating healthy, that whole regime, that is something that is always uh, in fashion, so to speak, or always around because we always have to watch those things.
Right.
Have you always been interested in being fit and eating healthy, or is there something that kind of pushed you into this arena, or just an interest that you've always had?
Well, that's a loaded question. So I've been active all my life. As a young person, I danced from like the age of 3 up until I don't know when I stopped dancing, when I stopped having time to dance. So I love dancing and, did ballet, tap, jazz, modern, African, lyrical, Horton technique. I did all of that. I played
Wow.
basketball, I ran track. So I was always active. What I did not always do was eat the right foods. Now, my father was one who, like, I grew up never being able to have the sugar cereals. We could never have a lot of stuff that other kids could have. I didn't grow up in a Kool-Aid household. Like, we were not having Kool-Aid. And so I won't say that my dad was a super health fanatic, but as I look back, there were certain things that my dad just wouldn't let us have. But for the most part, I was not necessarily, this super healthy person as far as eating. And I never really had any issues with my weight. I had my first daughter when I was much younger and literally, bounced back after I had her. Had my second daughter, I was a little older. Lifestyle had changed. With my first daughter, I was still catching a bus. I'm from Philly, so shout out to Philly. I was hitting SEPTA and walking everywhere. With my second daughter, I was driving. I was making more money. I was not budgeting my lunch. I was eating out and eating really well for lunch and all of that. And I also stayed home with her for the first 2 years. So needless to say, for me, I gained weight with that pregnancy and I never lost it. And by that stage in my life, now I'm working. I have this career. At one point, I was in school getting my Master's of Divinity part-time. I was a senior executive in marketing and communications at a health plan. And so I had a husband. I wasn't a husband, but had a husband, 2 kids at home, a minister at my church once I graduated from seminary. So a lot of things going on. Yes. And with all of that, wasn't taking care of myself. Now, I would still exercise. So I did running. I ran with Black Girls Run, which is an amazing group that got me from the couch to running my first 5K. And then after the 5K, it's like, oh, I want to run a 10K, and went all the way up to a marathon. 2016, I did 26.2 miles. So I ran and, I did Zumba. I did all kinds of active things. But the one thing, like I said at the beginning, that I never really managed was my diet, the food that I was eating. And so for years, I was just active and just frustrated because I wasn't getting the results I wanted as far as weight loss, because I refused to change how I was eating. And I didn't begin to see change until it finally clicked. I participated in a 6-week program, realized that nutrition had been the missing ingredient to my healthy lifestyle this entire time. I can nail the exercises, I'll do it and I'll go to the gym and all of that. But you can exercise until you're blue in the face. If you are not eating the right foods, if you're not eating or following a healthy, sustainable diet, you're not going to lose the weight. Now, there are a whole bunch of fads and things you can do, quick shakes and teas and all of that stuff. And some of those things are probably going to work to help you to lose a certain number of pounds, but they're not sustainable unless you only plan on drinking smoothies for the rest of your life. It's not sustainable unless you're only going to drink vegetable broth every day for the rest of your life, right? Yeah. And so what I learned and what I teach my clients is how to eat healthy, whole foods, unprocessed, low sugar, no sugar foods that are going to help them to sustain them once they get to their weight loss goal. And it's going to promote improved health outcomes. So they're not at risk for a lot of the chronic diseases that are tied to lifestyle, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, which is the #1 killer of everybody, right? You're going to lower your risk if you learn how to eat right and you couple that with exercise. So the answer is no. This was not me my whole life, but once I got it. And I was just so shocked. I just couldn't believe it. For years, I've been exercising. I ran 26.2 miles and I was still overweight and still afraid to go to the doctors and still thinking that one day I'm going to walk into this office and they're going to diagnose me with diabetes just like my mom. But I'm running 3 times a week. Crazy. But when I decided to make that change in my diet, to begin to change my diet, and I started seeing results, I started seeing little muscle development in my arms and stuff. I was starting to get my Michelle Obama arms. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. So that's kind of how it started, and that's where I am. And now I am working really hard so that everybody around me is just as excited about this as I am.
Oh boy, absolutely. You know, I take my hat off to you, Felicia, and we definitely need to talk more. I know I've spoken with you already, but you know, in full disclosure, I know you know, I don't know if my audience knows, I am a diabetic, and diabetes runs the family line for us with diabetes is just absolutely unreal. And honestly, it was not until I was diagnosed as a diabetic did I really, really start focusing more on my health, on how I eat and exercise. And it is so key. And I know even the story of your mom as a diabetic and how you have helped her. I don't know if you want to share a little about one of your prize students, but how you really helped her to really get control of things.
Absolutely. And, you know, one thing that you said that was interesting, and it's not the first time that I've heard it. There are so many people going back to long before I was a nutritional coach, long before I had the F2f Academy. My vocation was marketing and communications. And I did writing, health education materials, websites, etc. And a lot of the work that I did was around diabetes. And I remember interviewing a woman for the hospital publication, and she said getting diabetes was the best thing that ever happened to me. Wow. And it was in line with what you just said and what I've actually heard from another friend who's dealing with it right now. Because of the diabetes, she changed her lifestyle. Now, you don't have to wait until the diagnosis to do that, but she, you know, she got diabetes, and because of the diabetes, she changed her lifestyle. She started exercising. She started making healthier food choices. She came off of her blood pressure medicine. She managed her diabetes, and she said, my health is so much better now because of that diabetes diagnosis than it ever was. And so for some people, it is that diagnosis that makes you say, you know what, I have to get serious. I can't play around. It's not, ooh, I really, you know, I really need to get my food together. I need to get my diet together. No, this is life or death. There are complications associated with this disease. This runs in my family, but we can break this generational curse right now. There's something that we can do about it. We don't have to just accept it. And that really is a nice segue into my mother's story. My mother had diabetes since 2009. She was diagnosed. She went to the movies with family, fell out in the movie theater and had a seizure, never had a seizure before, got to the hospital and was told that her blood sugar was 1150. Now, you said you're diabetic, so you know 1150 means she should have been dead, right? And so she was diagnosed with the diabetes, and she managed a little bit at the beginning without insulin and all of that. But, you know, if you don't go all in and make the changes, then eventually the stuff catches up. So a lot of people think they're getting away with it. I eat whatever I want and I don't exercise and all of that, and I'm still okay. You're okay now. Keep on going to the doctor, right? Keep on doing what you're doing. Progressively, your body is responding, and so you're not getting away with it. It's just a matter of time. But if you are willing to make the changes, then you can really reverse it. And so fast forward from 2009, when my mother was diagnosed, to 2019, I actually am now her caregiver, and really worked with her to coach her and to change her diet. And long story short, you know the story. My mother has lost 66 pounds since working with me. My mother is no longer, her A1C started to eventually go down over time. Now, the A1C took longer to go down than just her, you know, the daily blood sugar checks and all of that, right? You know, they're looking back 3 months. And so it took some time for that to get lower. But each doctor's appointment, I remember the first appointment after her weight loss, she was in the pre-diabetic range. And I was like, that's cute, but I don't want you to be, no, she was in the regular, I'm sorry. She wasn't in the pre-diabetic range. It was it was normal.
Okay.
Getting all confused. It was lower down to like where they want it to be. right?
Right,
I'm like, okay,
right.
that's cute, but we want to go further than that, right? And so the
Mhm.
next time that she went back, it was in the normal range. And
Mm.
so, it just progressively got better. So her A1C is on point. Her blood sugar now is like between 90s and the 100s, where she
Awesome.
used to be a good 250 to 300. And I would
Yeah.
threaten her, like, you're going to have to go to the ER. And she has just really just made great strides. Basically, her diabetes has been reversed. Even she's still sneaking and
Yes.
eating stuff she's not supposed to eat. Even when she does that now, though, because her diet has changed so much and she's drinking a lot more water, she's eating a lot more
Mm.
vegetables, really watching the carbs and watching the sugar. Even when she does have a treat, we just had a birthday party and she had cake. Her
Oh,
blood sugar doesn't shoot up in the way that it used to. So
right.
essentially, her diabetes has been reversed, and
It's awesome.
the same can happen for you. The same can
Yes.
happen for anybody that is listening. She was shooting herself up with, and she used to call it shooting up. I have to shoot up. So she was, I like to say, stabbing yourself in the stomach to make it sound really
Yeah.
horrible. Stabbing herself in the stomach twice a day with insulin. And she is now insulin free, no diabetes medication, normal blood sugar levels, reverse diabetes. So
Oh, that
it's
is awesome.
possible, and it can be done with nutrition and with exercise. And my mother, it was primarily nutrition. She did do a little bit of walking at the beginning of of her transition, but it was
Mhm.
primarily her nutrition. And with my mother, you guys don't know, my mother also has Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. So when I'm working with her, it's not working in the same way that I would with a typical client, because I
Right.
never know what she's going to retain. But she does a pretty good job of trying to replicate the types of meals that I put together when she has to make something on her own. And essentially what I did was eliminate all of the bad carbs, right? The
Yeah.
unhealthy carbs, have her drink a whole lot more water. And then we also had her eat leafy green vegetables at every meal.
Mm.
That, I mean, just take that home. If you're not doing anything else right now, just start drinking half your body weight in water and add leafy green vegetables to every meal. It will fill you up and give your body the micronutrients and the mineral. It's the micronutrients, right? The minerals and
Right.
the vitamins that your body needs. And it'll give volume. It'll add volume to your meals, so you're not as hungry because you're filling up on the good things for you, instead of
Mhm.
some of those really high calorie, high
Yeah.
sugar choices that are going to stick to your waist
Yes.
and
Thank
and
you.
increase your risk of chronic disease.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. The fact that you've been able to help her to reverse that. I've seen her people. Let me tell you, this woman she's got it going on. She exercises right along with Felicia. And I know she eats well. Felicia posts what they eat. So
Absolutely.
it definitely, definitely can be done.
But you have
Um,
to keep it up, though. And that's the thing. That's
Right.
my challenge with her right now. And part of it is probably the dementia, because when you tell her things now, she's like, I lost weight. I lost 66 pounds. And that is commendable. It's amazing. I mean, in 2019, she wore a size 22. She now wears a size 12. So she has done
Wow.
a phenomenal job. I'm super proud
Yeah.
of her. But the reason that I talk about lifestyles as opposed to diets and all of those things
Mhm.
is that it has to become a lifestyle. My
Yes.
mother's life and that diabetes diagnosis, it's everything lies in the palm of her hand. She has the
Mm.
decision of how to go forward. And so if she goes back to old habits, to bad habits, if she goes back to eating the way that she was eating before, not exercising, she can very well see that number go back up
Go
and do the
back.
damage. So it has to be
Yes.
a lifestyle, which is why
Yeah.
I teach people how to eat healthy foods and not, quick lose weight fast diets that are not
Right.
sustainable, because I want you
Right.
to be able to take this thing and run with it for the rest of your long, healthy, happy, active life.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Lifestyle. And that is the one thing I learned. I knew that it couldn't be just something I adopted or adapted to for a week or so. I knew it had to be something that was lifelong in order for me to get control of
Right.
my diabetes. So I totally hear you on that. Tell me some more about your programs. I know you have a few of them. Tell me about
Yes. So I have essentially two programs with a little bit of personal training personal training wrapped in between. So I do offer personal training. However, I try to encourage my clients to go with some of the other options depending on what their needs are. My interest is really in the nutrition piece of it, because I know that's just so impactful. And the reality is, you can pay me a whole lot of money for me to sit in your face and tell you to do sit-ups and burpees and squats and all of those things. But if you're going to go home and eat pizza and donuts and ice cream, you're just throwing away money, that I'll take. But I don't want to do that. Like, I mean, honestly, my heart is not in that space. I don't want to just take your money when I know that you're not really making the changes that you need to make in order to get the results that you want. And so I do offer personal training virtually. And if you're in the Atlanta area, I do offer it in person, depending on where you are. But then I also have the Fat to Fit Academy, which is my virtual program. And with that academy, I offer group coaching and group exercise classes for women. I created the academy to really provide an economical way for women to be able to take charge of their health. When I first got certified as a nutritional coach, I started off, going really hard with my one-on-one coaching. And what I found was that a lot of the people that were in my circle at that time, and a lot of the people that have been following me, were not either in the financial position to invest at that level for one-on-one coaching, or they weren't in the right mindset. And this is not I'm not trying to speak negatively, but they were not in the right mindset to invest in their health at that time, at that level, right? Because we do what we think is important. And so many of us ignore our health. Women, we don't take care of our health. We may go and invest in things for our business. We may invest in how we look. We'll go invest in a car. We'll invest in all sorts of things. But it is a kind of a new idea of really investing in your health proactively now, so that you don't have to invest later with surgeries and medications and copays and all of those things. And so I did not want, for those who were just really financially not able to do the one-on-one coaching, I didn't want to just walk away like, okay, well, let me go find the people that have money. No, I wanted to be able to create something that was economical. And so with that, I have the group coaching program. The Fantabulous plan is my most popular plan. It's only $470 for the entire year, or $47 a month. And with the Fantabulous plan, you get access to my private Facebook group. You get group coaching. We come together on the fourth Monday of every month as a group. And I teach on nutrition and nutrition education. We go over goal setting and planning. We talk about challenges in the previous month and what we need to do to get to our goals. So you get that group coaching once a month. I also have master classes where I bring expert speakers to come in. At the beginning, I talked about that holistic approach. So I'm your nutrition person, I'm your exercise person, but there's so many other facets to this health and wellness. So I bring in people to talk to my clients about self-care, to talk about prioritizing their health, to talk about emotional stress, managing stress, depression, emotional eating, all sorts of things, so that you get everything that you need to get on the right track and stay on the right track. And then I also do live classes. We have exercise classes, really boot camp style classes that are offered throughout the week. They're all virtual via Zoom. And my Fantabulous plan members have access to any of those classes throughout the week. And so that is, $47 a month. If you're really serious about beginning to make changes and you can't afford to invest, you might have 2 or 3 kids in college. I get it. My baby girl is about to head that way, right? You can't afford to invest in the one-on-one coaching. With the Fantabulous plan, you're still able to get group coaching. You're still able to get a lot of the information, and you are really able to get to your goals. So that is that plan. And then I have, obviously, my one-on-one coaching program, which I'm super excited about because it's just an amazing program. It's the F2f Nutrition Program. And I started, again, I think I shared with you before we started, the Fat to Fit Academy was started for women. But I had men begin to come to me and ask me for nutritional advice and guidance. And so when I launched or relaunched my one-on-one coaching program, I decided to open that portion up to men and women. So the F2f Nutrition Program is a customized one-on-one program where I am working with you to take you from wherever you are in your current weight to what your goal weight is. We decide after we talk about what you've done in the past, what's worked, what hasn't worked. We come up with a plan and we set a deadline. Okay, you're going to lose 20 pounds by this date. And then I create a customized nutrition plan. I create customized workouts for you. We can incorporate, if you say, you know what, I love running. Okay, we'll incorporate running. If you say I love Zumba, if you say I hate swimming, we're not going to put swimming on your program, right? We will customize this program just for you. So a customized nutrition plan, a customized workout plan, and then you have accountability, which is so important. Sometimes people know what to do, they're just not doing it, and they need somebody that can hold them accountable. And that is what is so amazing about my program, because I'm there with you every step of the way to make sure you're clear on what you're supposed to do, to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself, the commitment that you're making to yourself, and holding you accountable to the goals that you said you wanted to get to or to achieve. And then there's also coaching. And I'm talking to my clients my one-on-one clients have my attention every single day. We're talking, not necessarily, on the phone, long conversations. Everybody is busy, right? But I'm communicating with my one-on-one clients throughout the day to make sure they're on track, to make sure they're on plan. On the days where they may be busy, I'm there to give them the reminder. Hey, make sure you're drinking your water. Hey, did you get in your meals? On the day when they may be stressed, I'm there to encourage them. So I wear so many different hats. I get to, put on my minister's hat in some sense, because I am really serving my clients and helping to meet them where they are and to encourage them to keep on pushing. There's some days where, the scale may not be moving. It does not mean that you're not making any progress. It does not mean that you're not on the right path. I'm there to encourage them through that. There may be days where they're just like, oh my gosh, I had a bag of Doritos. And I'm like, girl, it's one bag. You ate it. It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
Take a deep breath. Don't buy anymore. Now I'm gonna stick on that. You can't eat them if it's not in your house, right?
No.
But so I'm all of those things to my clients. And what I love about this program is that I'm so confident in it, because it works, that I offer a service guarantee. So if I talk to you and I say you're going to lose 20 pounds I'm making this up, by December 23rd, and you've provided, there's a caveat, right? Provided that you follow my program, that you do the things that I've prescribed in the program, that you've agreed to, because I go through an orientation process and I ask people if they're willing to do the things that are a part of the program, and they agree to that. And so provided that you're following all of the steps that I'm giving you, that you're doing the things that I ask you to do, if for some reason you haven't lost those 20 pounds by December 23rd, guess what? I keep on working with you without any additional cost until you get to that goal, provided that you continue following the steps of the program. So I love that that I have a program that I'm confident in. I love that I have a program that delivers results. I have some clients right now. One client came to me on 4 medications. She's down to 2. Wow. What was that on my nail? I look like it was something on my nail. She's down to 2. Right? She's down to 2 medications. We're working on those other 2, but she's been with me since July 19th. So not even 3 months. 3 months. Not even 3 months. And she's already off of 2 of the 4 medications that she wanted to come off of. Have another client who within the first 10 days had to come. Initially, it was coming lowering. The doctor just lowered the dosage, because I guess they didn't know that he had hired me.
Right.
So like, okay, we don't know what you're doing over there, but something is going on, so we're going to lower the dosage.
Yeah.
But had to go back and told him he could come off of one of his medications, and he said, I picked the one that was the most expensive.
Right.
So I'm saving you money, bro. Yes. So you don't have to worry about taking those medications. So I mean, the results that my clients are getting, just feeling amazing, increased digestion, feeling better about their digestion, better sleep, better skin, being able to fit clothes. I have a client now who, when I talk about kind of being, not seeing the scale move, the scale has not necessarily been her friend, right? It's not moving at the pace that she's wanted it to move, but every week she's like, my clothes are bigger. Like I was about to give this outfit away, and I put it on and it fits now. I don't have to give it away. So her body is being transformed. And that's something that I try to tell people. Honestly, your weight is a good measurement, but ultimately it's about your health, how you feel, how you look, etc. Weight, what you see on the scale, is just one piece of it. You can be transforming your body. You can be burning body fat, lowering your body fat percentage, right? And maybe on the scale, it's only a couple of pounds, but people will look at you because you're now building up that lean muscle and think, oh my goodness, you look amazing. You had to have lost like 10 pounds, 20 pounds. And it's like, no, I haven't, right? Body composition is just really super important. So as you can see, I love what I do. I love my clients, and I love, I get excited. I wake up every morning and they have to check in with me, the accountability piece of it, right? So they're checking in with me. And when I get these messages, my doctor took me off the medication, my clothes don't fit. One client kept on losing weight so fast that as she was buying new clothes, they were becoming too big. So it's like, listen, sis, you're going to have to slow down or go to the thrift store, because this is getting pretty expensive.
Clothing, and then
every time I buy clothes, I'm like, they're too big. And that actually happened with my mother too. It was so funny. We bought this outfit because of COVID. She didn't get a chance to wear it. And so when she finally put it on, I said, Mom, that thing is too big. You can't wear that anywhere. She was so disappointed, but it was just, she was swimming in it. So so that's a problem that my clients have. Unfortunately, that's one of the biggest complaints that I have, is that people are complaining about their clothes being too big.
And that's not a bad complaint to have, okay? That's not a bad problem at all.
Absolutely.
Oh, Felicia, this has been awesome. I hate that we're running out of time. I went on and put the ticker up to let them know how to get in touch with you, to get in on some of these programs. And, as we start to close things out here, thank you, first of all, so much. I know that every woman out there who has heard what you said will be a little more conscious of how they're eating and what they're eating around the holidays and just in life, in general, period. And they hear the importance of definitely getting into a healthy regime with eating and exercise. So I know that they'll walk away from this. We've got your information down here as to how they can get in touch with you. Anything you want to say as we wrap things up?
All right. As we wrap it up, I just want to say this. I always say it and can't believe I didn't say it earlier. Weight loss alone is 90% nutrition. So if you're looking to lose weight, the exercise is minute. It's a very small. Exercise is good for some other things, but it is such a small part of the equation for weight loss. It is 90% nutrition. And once you understand that and you make those nutritional changes, I promise you, you will be making changes that will last a lifetime. When we talk about holiday eating, just because you brought that up, all I will say is that, if you are eating right the majority of the time, then one meal is not going to mess you up, right? If you are eating healthy, making healthy food choices throughout the week, and then you get to Thanksgiving Day and you go in on Auntie's macaroni and cheese and grandma's candy yams and all of that stuff, it's one day and one meal. That's not the problem. The problem is if you're going to go to work on Monday and you're going to have the donuts that somebody brought in for work on Monday. And then on Tuesday, you're going to eat brownies at your lunch. And then on Wednesday, you're going to have pizza at home. And then by Thursday, you want to have all of that, right? Eating things that are not necessarily nutritionally beneficial, like a whole big Thanksgiving plate, right? Is not going to kill you if it's something that you're just doing on occasion. But if you're constantly filling yourself up with high calorie, high carb, high sugar, processed foods, unhealthy fats all the time, right? If it's not the exception, if it's your regular, then that's what the problem is. But by all means, if it is not what you regularly do, then go ahead, enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner, enjoy your Christmas dinner, right? My coach put it this way. He said, how many meals do you eat a day? He said, let's say you eat 3 meals a day, right? Times 7 days, that's 21 meals.
Right.
1 meal out of 21 is not your problem, right? So when we get into having problems, it's not because our 1 meal is a problem. It's because, 7, 10, 15, 16, 18 of those meals are
creeping up.
We shouldn't eat. So we just have to reverse that and let, the unhealthy indulgences be the exception and not the rule as far as our nutrition.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Felicia, thank you so much again. We are going to eat right with the holidays creeping up on us, and we're not going to overindulge, and we're going to focus more on eating and exercising the right way all the time. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Hold on just a second. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here at Reinvent and Rise. Remember, go out, be authentically yourself, be confident in who you are. You know that you bring value to yourself, and value that the world is waiting on, that only you can provide. All right. Have a great one.